I've never been the type of person to have a flashlight in my everyday carry. I've always just used my phone, and I felt like that was enough. But when I restarted this, I noticed a lot of you, if not every single one of you, carries a flashlight on you, and it made me think that maybe there is some validity to actually having a separate flashlight, and yes, there is. It's just way more convenient. I thought having a phone with a flashlight on the back was convenient, but really it's not. It's kind of an inconvenience. They're not bright, and it's kind of a hassle to pull your phone out and turn it on and everything. So I set out to find a flashlight that I would carry in my EDC. I wanted it to be tiny, compact, most likely a keychain flashlight. I did not want it to be AA or AAA powered. I wanted something that was USB rechargeable because I hate AA and AAA batteries. Even if they're rechargeable, I don't like them. I've never had a good experience with them. And it had to be bright. And this is what I found. It is the RovyVon Aurora, and turns out nobody else has made a video about it on YouTube, and if they have, I can't find it. It's been weeks that I've been searching, hoping that I would be the first, and I think I am, because I've yet to find anybody else that made a video about this. There are only like 30 or 40 Amazon reviews, so it's a fairly new product, and frankly, I love it. Here we go, the RovyVon Aurora A3. So here it is, the RovyVon Aurora A3. You've probably never seen it before, and if you have, you've probably not heard too much about it because I honestly think it's brand new. I've done a lot of research. There's not a ton about this company. The logo is behind this little clip here, and it's hard to get on and off, and as you can see, it scratched the first time I tried to get it on. This is an anodized aluminum flashlight, but we'll get to that. This thing is tiny. It's really small. It is not the smallest flashlight out there. There's the Slughouse Bullet, which is much smaller than this one, very tiny. And there's some Olight and other flashlights that are much smaller than this, but for size comparison, it's about the same size as a Victorinox Classic SD. I looked everywhere today, could not find mine, but it's roughly the same size. I have some other things here that you can compare the size with. This is the brand new Olight i3T EOS, and as you can see, it's almost half the size of the Olight. It's pretty small. Of course, this one is powered by a AAA. This one is not, but as you can see, it's pretty tiny, and this RovyVon is much brighter than the Olight. So it does not come standard with this paracord. I did a little noose on here to have a little more extra grip, but in the box you do get a couple of things. It comes with this long wrist strap, which I think is a little too big for this flashlight. It's just kind of unreasonably big. You also get an additional plug. The flashlight is IPX65 certified for water resistance. So you do have a little plug right there to cover your USB port, and you get an additional plug in case that one comes out. You have a spare, and it comes with a ball chain, which I will never in a million years use, but for people who want that, you've got it. I will never use this either, and I might need that, so I'm keeping all of these things just in case. It's a little easier to remember where that is if it's got all these things with it, but that's what you get in the box. The clip does not come on it. You have to put it on there, and then you get these things in the box as well. So I put this on here to roughly double the length. I mean, you don't really need it for this thing, but I did it to match the Big Idea Design titanium pocket tool I got. I carry these two things together. This is about half of my EDC right now. So I just did it to match, really. I don't really need it on here, but for this one, it's definitely better for the grip. One more thing to compare size, you may know, since I don't have my Classic SD, you may know of the Bomber & Company B2 Nano. It's a controversial knife, but it's very tiny. It's known for being super small, and there you go. It's pretty dang small beside this knife. So this flashlight, as you see, is the A3. First, I thought there were 3 different versions of this flashlight because there's the A1, the A2, and the A3. I thought this was the 3rd iteration, but no, there are just 3 different models of it. The A1 is a polycarbonate with a stainless steel bezel. The A2 is totally stainless steel. It does come in different colors, but it's a fully stainless steel, and this one is an anodized aluminum. As you can see there, I've already scraped some off in there as well, and this one will have that typical beat up look after a little while. But they're all rated the same. They're just made out of different materials, and they are different price points. So I did pay $30 for this flashlight, which for some people might seem like a lot for such a small flashlight. Others may think it's kind of cheap. It just depends on your personal taste and your budget, but this is the mid-tier version of the flashlights. The polycarbonate is only about $26. This one is 30, and if you want to go for the stainless steel, it's 38. So that one does get a little more pricey, but still, mid-range, $30. I am very, very satisfied with this, and I've almost bought a couple more. I've bought them for gifts because I've shown this flashlight to people, and everybody loves it because they're like, how is that so tiny and so bright? So I do have this thing plugged in right now because I forgot to charge it, and it was getting a little dim on me, but let's talk about how bright this flashlight is. You'll get a real feel once it's plugged in, because you can run it while it's plugged in and you'll get the actual brightness that it usually has with a full battery. But to turn it on, you press and hold this button on the side switch, and that is the low mode. That is 19 lumens, and honestly, I wish it had a moonlight mode. I wish it would go a little dimmer than what it is, but if you press the button one more time, that takes you to the high mode, which is 550 lumens, allegedly. It is super bright for this tiny flashlight, and it gets hot very, very quickly. And then the next button press takes you down to the medium, which is 210 lumens. It's still plenty bright. And then the next switch is strobe. And then let's talk about charging. Charging, there's a little USB port right here towards the tail on the underside, and you just plug in, standard micro USB. You get a charging indicator on the power switch. It only takes about 45 minutes to fully charge from being completely dead. And honestly, in daily use, I haven't charged this thing in probably over a week, which is why it died on me just now. It's not even dead. So as far as battery life claims, they say you can go about 19 minutes on the high mode, 550 lumens, about 29 minutes on medium, and 900 minutes on low, which I believe that. I believe you could probably get pretty close to that on low, but the high mode definitely drains this battery pretty quickly. It only has a 130 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty dang small, and to be fair, I'm really happy with how it's performed for me. As a daily carry flashlight, I'm going to charge this thing pretty often, probably more than I have recently. I've just been forgetting to charge it, but I would say every other day or maybe twice a week, and that's going to be sufficient for this flashlight. And honestly, if it dies, most of the time I'm around a charger or something, you can plug this thing in to a power bank and still get that full brightness. You know, throw a power bank in your pocket and then you still have this on you. And with this little clip, which I don't use really that much, I can attach it to my hat if I need to, either on top of the bill or below. This thing clips to the hat. So for the few things I wish I could change about this flashlight, I really think the advantages of it outweigh all of that. Like one thing I wish it did have a moonlight mode, not 19 lumens, like 1 lumen or even 5. And I wish it had a tail switch instead of the side switch, but having the side switch and having to hold it will prevent it from accidentally coming on in your pocket, which is a concern because that high mode, this thing gets hot fast. So for a while now and for the foreseeable future, this is going to be my EDC flashlight. Nightcore is sending me a tinny in copper, but man, it's going to be hard to convince me to switch away from this light because it's so small. I barely notice it in my pocket, and I'm honestly probably going to make it my camping flashlight too because I can attach it to my hat and because it's going to take so little juice out of a power bank, or it can be charged off solar so easily, and it's not going to take that much to charge this flashlight, and it'll last plenty on that low and medium mode, which is what I mostly use, is low and medium. I'm not going to use that high mode very often. So there it is, the RovyVon Aurora flashlight. It comes in 3 different models and ranges from $26 to $38. Comes in plastic or a polycarbonate, aluminum or stainless steel. This is the aluminum version, and it's pretty sweet. So if you like this flashlight and like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up in the comments down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel to see more stuff like this in the future. If you want me to feature another flashlight or other EDC gear like this, and you like this style of video, which this is the first of, let me know. Tell me down in the comments and tell me what you would like to see next. So that's it for now. Be sure to follow the channel on Twitter and Instagram at BestDamnEDC. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.